Hey everybody, this is the second edition of Q&A with Alexia Mae, and you guys asked me some questions on Instagram and on some YouTube, so let's get answering. I've got my coffee and let's go. Do you think the names Matilda and Tabitha go well together? Oh my goodness, yeah. They are amazing together. So pretty. What's a girl name that goes well with Reagan, Elena, who goes by Lainey, and Sloan, and a boy name that goes well with Levi, Reese, and Nathan? I thought of Tess for Reagan, Elena, and Sloan, and Tess or Tessa I think would be beautiful. And for a boy name with Levi, Reese, and Nathan, because Levi and Reese are 4 letters, I would do another a 6-letter name to go with Nathan, and I thought of Josiah. What do you think of the name Cahuta? Middle name suggestions. I'm really hoping that is a tongue-in-cheek question. I don't want to be mean, but Cahuta is like the nickname Cootie is gonna come up. I have a girl named Audrey Grace and I'm having a boy. What do you think would go well with it? I think Lincoln would be really nice with it. Audrey and Lincoln. I think Lionel too. I think Audrey and Lionel are so cute and old-fashioned and quaint, and I think they're very nice. If you're a country fan, if you're a country music fan at all, I think it would be cute to maybe have a boy named William for Audrey Williams. I think that would be very cool. Ways to honor a Robert Paul. I gave this a little bit of thought, and I think it would be really cool to use Robert Paul, both names, as a middle name. And I thought of Miles Robert Paul, and I just absolutely love that combo. I think it's so cool. Another way to honor a Robert Paul would be to use the initials, and I thought of Ronan Peter. I thought that would be really cute, and you have the Peter and Paul association. Do you think Avia is a good name? I've been told it isn't, but that's what I want to name my kid. Also, what does it mean? I hate name haters. There's nothing wrong with the name Avia. Avia is completely socially acceptable. I mean, if you were set on having a baby named Adolf, I would say, yeah, I could see the name hate. I could see why people would want you to maybe reconsider, but Avia is perfectly fine. It's a beautiful name, and I say go for it. You're the one that's going to have to sign it on Christmas cards and on birthday cakes for the rest of your life, for the rest of their life. Use the name you love. What was your very first name crush? Mine was Nehemiah. Nehemiah is an awesome name. I love seeing people dig on Nehemiah because it's just so amazing. My first name crush... Oh! We have a visitor. Oh, okay, sure, I'll hold your bottle for you. My first name crush, I've said this before, was in kindergarten, and his name was Shane. He was this Irish kid that was a year older than me, and so it's like when you're 5 and there's an older boy in the class, it's like, oh my goodness. And he like had a leather bracelet on and a shark tooth necklace, and his name was Shane. And I was born in the 80s, so my classroom was full of Michaels and Jonathans and Jameses, and so it was so refreshing to see a Shane. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, I love the name Shane. My daughters are named Adelaide Elizabeth and Alice Lorraine. We would like to have more children. What names would you suggest for siblings? We are not necessarily using the A theme. Okay, I'm going to say... Hi. I'm going to say something extremely controversial, but I like names that start with the same letter. Not maybe like as big as the Duggars, but I am OCD, and it would bother me to see like an AAD or an AADJ, unless you're going to do like an AADD or an AAJJ or something like that. I would prefer all of the kids to have the same initial. It's just my personal tastes are that drive me nuts. So, with Adelaide and Alice, I thought of Aubrey. I thought that would be very, very pretty. Aubrey Violet is, I think, gorgeous. Or Aubrey Josephine. Or Aurora would be another beautiful name, Aurora Josephine, and that way you could call her Rory if you wanted. If you really didn't want to do the A theme, another beautiful vintage old-fashioned name is Dahlia. I think that would be very, very pretty. And beautiful, beautiful names, by the way. What do you think of the names Porter Jude and Atticus Jonah for brothers? Porter and Jonah, both honor special people. Love them. I saw that and I really liked them a lot. And I really like how there's a subtle tie of both middle names being a biblical J name. I thought that was really nice. Do you prefer the name Kahea or Alaya? I went and looked at your profile and saw that you lived in Hawaii. So I think both names are totally fine. Like if you lived in Oklahoma or Michigan, I might say, unless you really, really loved it, I would say, I think you're going to run into a lot of pronunciation issues. But they're both nice names. I prefer Kahea. I like the idea of the nickname Kiki. Alaya, it doesn't really hold a lot of weight to me. I definitely prefer Kahea. My boyfriend, if we have a girl, wants to name her Giselle. I like the name Aurora. Does Giselle sound good for the first name and Aurora for the middle? The last name will be both of our names hyphenated. Maybe both don't sound very good. I need help. Haha. I'm not crazy about the name Giselle. I think that the first sound in that would lead to a lot of teasing potential. And I'm just not crazy about it. I would prefer Aurora. And I think Aurora Giselle is beautiful, and it sounds very good with your last names. Either way is fine, really. It's just my personal preference. I'm not crazy about Giselle. I have a 7-month-old named Lucas. We want to keep doing the biblical name theme. What would you name a sibling, boy and girl? Oh, I love these questions because I don't get a lot of biblical name questions because the biblical name trend is kind of right now. My husband has a brother named Lucas, and his name is Josiah, and I think those are very, very nice together. I also like Lucas and Adam, Lucas and Caleb, and for girls, I like Evie. I'm really digging Evie lately. I think it's a beautiful name, and that's based on Eve. I also like Cassia. Cassia is a personal favorite of mine. In the Bible, cassia is like a cinnamon, and it's one of the spices that was used in incense. So it has a lot of meaning. It's a beautiful name, and in Europe, it can be pronounced Cassia, which I'm not crazy about. I definitely prefer the Cassia pronunciation. Do you ever give advice to friends and family on baby names? I really try not to, because I'm terrified of being known as the name Nazi. But if you looked at the dialogue between my sister-in-law and my friend on Instagram, apparently I beat them if they don't use the names that I want them to use. So I guess go ask them, because I guess I'm not a good judge of that. What are your views on the name Roman for a boy? My boyfriend likes Knox Roman, and I like Roman Knox. Which of the two do you think sounds best? I like Roman the best. I really like that name a lot. But Knox Roman sounds better. It has better flow, where Roman Knox kind of like runs into each other. It almost sounds like you're saying Roman ox. So if you were to use Roman Knox, I would say to put another name in between, like Roman Luther Knox or Roman Jeremy Knox, just to kind of break up that running. What would be a good middle name for Caleb, or a good first name with Caleb as the middle name? I think Caleb is better as a first name because it has a very strong emphasis on the first syllable. So I think that it would not flow very well with a lot of 1 and 2 syllable names. Like Reed Caleb sounds a little redundant, or like Judah Caleb sounds a little redundant. I think if it was Caleb, like Reed Caleb, Judah Caleb, I think it would flow a lot better. But because it's Caleb, I would say if you're going to use it as a middle, do like Alistair Caleb or Alexander Caleb, names like that. I definitely prefer it in the first spot. And I have a cousin named Caleb Miles, and I love that combo. I feel like it's right on trend, and yet it's timeless. And also, if you follow Amelia from Everything Baby Names, she has she has a brother named Caleb Jericho, and I think that that combination is absolutely stunning. He thinks so too. What's your favorite baby name book? Well, since my personal favorite names are biblical names, obviously the Bible, but other than that, I like Cool Names for Babies from the gals that named Mary, Pamela Redmond Satrin, and Linda Rosenkrantz. That name was, or that book was a little revolutionary. A lot revolutionary. I got it and it was the best. I think it was $5 or something like that. It's the best $5 I've ever spent. It was a very, very good, very enlightening, very freeing baby name book. What do you think of Tobin in the name Tobin Phileas as a brother to Vivienne Louise, Dashiell Reed, Josephine Marie, Finnegan James, and Clementine Elisa? Woo! Those are a lot of kids' names. They're all beautiful. I like Tobin a lot. I like it very much so. Phileas, did you mean to say Phileas or did you mean Phineas? Phileas I'm not crazy about, but I do like Phineas. I think Tobin Phineas is very, very nice. What do you think of the name Eru? You know, I see names every single day. I find names that I've never seen before. I see names a lot, and when I first saw it, I didn't know how to pronounce it, and so I think that if I had a hard time pronouncing it, a lot of people will have a hard time pronouncing it. There are a lot easier air names like Ariadne and Arianwin, Aria. And to me, it almost sounds a little bit like a pet name that a kid would give to somebody when they don't know how to say their name, Eru. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave your comments on what you think of Eru in the comments below. I'm a 2 middle name kind of person. Son Zacharias, Dustin Bowe, daughters Ireland Laura Jane, and Siren Adelaide Jean. Tell me your honest opinion. Are they horrible names? Like, even if that's still going to be their names, I'm just curious on your thoughts. Be brutal if needed, smiley face. I really don't like to be brutal. I really try to support people in the names they like. I hope that I never come across to you guys as being mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I think your names are very, very nice. I like how you have common names paired with more exotic names. They're very well balanced. I really like them. The only name I don't like is Siren. I would I would advise you to look for a different name. I mean, I'm a Starbucks girl. I like coffee, but I still don't like Siren. They're kind of brutal characters. I don't know that if I were named Siren that I would like that. And also, you know, you have alarms, so it is kind of an abrupt, alarming sounding name. It's a little off-putting. So I would say you have excellent taste, so there's got to be other names that are beautiful that you could like more than Siren. So the last question is, how many babies have you helped name? I don't know, it's hard to keep track of all of them. You know, I don't think you ever really know how many lives you touch, how many people you help. Being in the baby name world, it's such a small sliver of everybody's huge life. So it's like people hardly ever come back and tell you what they decided, which I wish they would because I want to know. But there are 3 stories that are the most special to me, besides the naming my own baby. That's obviously the most amazing, but besides that, the 3 most amazing stories was my friend Amy, who I met here on Instagram a year ago. Stephanie Anastasia Ruby introduced us, and I'm not going to get into that because I want to make that a separate thing. It's a very special story, and Amy suffers from nomophobia, which is a hatred of names and indecision. So that was a unique journey to go down, but I love her to death, and it was a very special story, and I want to tell you guys sometime. Another one was this gal from Australia who had a really hard time conceiving. Hi. And she ended up getting pregnant, but had a really hard pregnancy, and she asked me to help her find names she liked that had biblical ties and meant gift and miracle and stuff. So that was really, really nice and special to help her with that. The last story was this woman who had a miscarriage, but she wasn't far enough along to know if she was having a boy or a girl. And she really wanted to give her baby a name that would work for either gender, because, you know, it's extremely traumatic, and she didn't, you know, she wanted her baby to have a name, to be remembered. And that, I have to say, was so incredibly special to be a part of such a personal, sad, tragic, deep moment in somebody's life. She didn't know me from Adam, and yet she invited me into that extremely personal moment, and that was amazing. Those are all the questions. Me and my little helper over here. What, do you have something to say? Hope I helped, guys, and thanks so much, and cheers. Yeah. Can I have a smooch?